good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to First Sip, where you're going to get your mind right for a great week. Good morning, Fred Blanton.
Good morning. Not only can you get your mind right, you may be able to pick up some dance techniques.
If you will recall, last Friday, we had a little technical issue. We were forced to just simply start dancing live on camera.
It was a surprise. I like to, when the music gets going, I mean, it just makes me want to do this.
I know.
It's a new song.
I do.
I wasn't forced. I just didn't know that humans could see me doing it.
Hey, when I heard that our new theme song, I like it. We needed that little change. And speaking of little change, I am now on the other side of the screen for quite some time. I think maybe 200 episodes or so. It seems like I was on the side that you are on now.
Correct.
And it's funny. It's funny because I want to kind of talk about little changes and how that makes a difference.
Well, what happened at the live show the other night?
At the live show, Fred Blanton, he sat down. Remember in school, like, you get your lunch plate and somebody goes and they sit down at the lunch table and they kind of put all their milk cartons everywhere so they kind of save some seats. Fred put his water bottle down. He put his keys down. He had everything right there on the left side. I said, that's my side. He said, nah, man.
This ain't Baptist church. Find you another seat.
Good morning, Russ Hammond. But those slight little changes, somehow it feels different because we get used to doing things a certain way. And then if we change it, start doing it a new way, what happens?
Tell me.
We grow. We put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation because it's a little bit more uncomfortable because we're not familiar with it. The mind, and we all love things that are familiar. We love being able to predict. So when I sat down on that right-hand side and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to have to hold this coffee mug with my left hand. That's impossible. I can't talk and hold my coffee mug with my left hand. Let me show you instead of, see?
Oh, that looks awkward.
But exactly. It looks and feels awkward. Now, I've got another one for you, Fred. Now you got me going. It felt pretty awkward opening that show the other day, didn't it? Man, you've got skills, bro.
I'm an ambidextrous coffee drinker.
That was good. But hey, it felt pretty intense, pretty awkward getting the show started, didn't it?
Yes, going back and watching it, we really weren't sure that we were live, so we just had to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and that's why I said that the 3, 2, where I just gave myself my own countdown to help myself kind of do that. So just to be clear, that was a live feed and then we stepped into it, but you had to have some kind of setup because the mic had just been turned on. So, hey, we learned a lot. Another thing after doing a lot of editing this weekend, can't wait until I don't do that anymore. But after that, I saw a lot of different things. Like, so you experience something, like maybe the kids' basketball game that you went to this weekend, but then you have the breakdown after, right? You have the reviewing it in your mind and seeing what happened. And I saw where Chris Hill had filmed another, I don't know if you saw that or not. Chris Hill took a little video and he was a guest at the event and he showed what he saw from his point of view in a way. And it was kind of different because me and you we were in that little box and we were looking out and I was feeling like, oh man, everybody's, but the truth is there's room for more people that there was room to get bigger, if that makes sense. It's what I saw. So,
and when you do something like that, if you are trying to get bigger, get better, grow, you have to, just like games this weekend, you have to play the game, you have to do the show, and then you have to step back and break down the film.
yeah,
What was terrible? What was good? What could we change to make it a better experience? That's what the pros do. And you and I are not going to be stuck as amateurs because we are pros.
yeah, we and being a pro. Good morning, DT. Good morning, Russ Hammond. If I didn't say good morning, got to talking. Calling it like it is, saying, okay, yes, that is true. If you'll remember, Russ Hammond, we asked him for the truth during it. You remember, we said, hey, Russ, you watch the show every day. Give us the truth, because ultimately that's what we want to do. And the fastest way to continue to grow is to keep doubling down on it and to say, what can we do to improve, to make a better event next time.
So when you think, okay, somebody's an amateur and they're wanting to go pro, what are some things they need to do?
I'm going to say go back to basics, which is something that I kind of wanted to talk about today. So going back to basics. A lot of times in life, when we're feeling good, we're doing certain things, and it might be a different list for everyone, but we all know when we feel good. We're let's say we're exercising, we're hydrated, we're doing a little reading. We've got a list of things that we're doing, and then life happens, and maybe or maybe not, we're doing all of those things that we were doing when we felt good. Maybe or maybe not. But now all of a sudden, man, something just don't feel right. And what we will want to do is associate this not feeling right with something that has happened. And in other words, hey, something has changed. No, what changed is I'm no longer doing the things that I was doing when I felt good.
Yep. Have you ever seen this? Somebody, let's say they're in sales or business, and their goal is to have 30 customer touches a day. And they do that day in and day out. And they start building this remarkable business. Sales are great. Things are happening. Well, as they get busy, they tend to skip the 30 touches a day. And then the business or sales decline. And they're like, well, man, people just aren't around anymore. Well, you stop being disciplined. You stop doing the basics. That's the result of it. Pros will do the basics every day. If they have a goal of 30 touches, they'll do it. If they have a goal of 15 follow-ups, they'll do it, because that's the only way to keep consistency flowing.
It's that ebb and flow. Let's talk about something that I thought about. You do something every single day, like we do this. It's only 15 minutes, but man, it's every single day. Good morning, Susmitha. Like we do. And you're going to have some ebb and flow. You're going to have some times when, like, you don't feel, let's take it like this. You remember last Monday, our show, the flow of our show Monday, it was so clunky. I don't know that it's ever been.
Janky.
It was just, I mean, we nothing was hitting, nothing worked, nothing flowed. And we thought, my goodness. 4 days later, we had our first event down here at the clubhouse. We had 37 people or something like that. We had laughs, we had energy, and you start feeling pretty good. But then something else happened. My point, this is growth. I mean, and a big part of it for me is just observing that, knowing, hey, this high rise, hey man, don't get too You know, there's always going to be that too. And so that is a big part of growth. It's just simply observing and knowing that we will have that ebb and flow.
But what can decrease the valleys? What can keep it from going all the way down to maybe just a quick little speed hump?
Yeah. I think oftentimes I tell myself, if we're too, have you ever heard that we're not as good as we think we are and we're not as bad as we think we are? We're somewhere in the middle. And what generally happens is we kind of ping pong between those things. Sometimes we feel exceptionally good, maybe overly good. And then other times, just the opposite. We feel less than we should. We feel harder on ourselves than we should. And so this is just part of the mind trying to kind of protect itself, the ego, you might say. And so we just realize, hey, that's all in my head. It's all in my head. And that way we don't have these extremes. We just say, hey, what is my best core back to basics, right?
Yeah. And you said something earlier a few seconds ago. Did you say ping pong?
I think I did.
Who would be interested in a live show of me beating the average dude in ping pong?
Now, wait a minute.
Best out of 5.
You have obviously not heard all of the comparisons that I make with myself and Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump and the average dude share some things in common.
But he liked to run.
He does a little running. He does a little thinking. And he plays a little ping pong from time. I eat dark chocolate these days. I don't like anything but the dark chocolate, and the dark chocolate that I used to not like when I was younger. Like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Now that's all I can eat.
Are you eating Werther's Originals too at your age?
Werther's. How dare you? Werther's Originals. There's something to get your mind right. Now, how about this right here? I want to do this. This is going to be screwed up or messed up or whatever you want to say. Or maybe not. Here we go. Look, watch this. This is old school.
Quote of the day. Quote of the day.
Quote of the day. How about this? You know who said that one?
I don't.
Coach Burt.
Did he? Coach Michael B?
Coach Michael B. I jumped on and started looking into Coach Burt, who talks a lot about a lot of the same things that we do, a lot of the energy and a lot of finding a place at the table, creating your space at the table and all of those things. And he talks about those things because they work. Darn it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that I had no idea that you were going to show this quote. And then we were talking about not being an amateur, turning pro, leaving your amateur desires behind. And to do that, here it is. Success is not an accident. It's a system, which you have to have, of habits and intentional actions. That is the way to become a pro and stay a pro.
Winning the day. 10 years ago, I started a personal development journey. And the only way, Fred, that I could get up the motivation, the enthusiasm, the anything is to get very granular and focus on the day. Nothing else matters. I must win the day. 10 years later, that's what I'm still doing. That's what I'm still doing. You gotta do something positive in the morning. You gotta move your body. You gotta do all those things so that we get our mind right. And it starts right here with First Sip, live 7:55 every weekday morning, including Tuesday. Fred, final thought.
It's Monday morning. Make a note to think about your systems and intentional actions. Let's take this from today. We'll review it on Friday. Systems and intentional actions. Do you have them? Can you implement them? Let's hit it on Friday.
Game plan for the week, and let's roll.